I've ridden every day this year, and I make a video every day that I do. Hashtag 365 motorcycle. This video tells why I ride my NC700X more than my other bikes. It is not a review of the NC700X.
And we're back. Yep. Today is the 14th of August, and it's a little after 5 a.m. headed into work. Early day today. But I was processing videos last night, and I got a question from Gary saying, seems that I ride the NC700X the most, and if I had any videos that explain why that is. And I said, no, I don't, but I'll make one. But unfortunately, it'll probably take forever for it to be able to post because I'm really behind on processing vids. So yeah, that's a good question, and I guess there's multiple layers of answer for that question. So I guess the first is we have 10 bikes, right? And really 6 of them are mine, so I really try not to ride Mrs. Smith's bikes too much because they're her bikes, and I'll ride them every once in a while if I feel like they need to be run, or if I'm looking for a change. So right there, that leaves out the 2 BMWs, the Ducati, and her Honda CRF. So that being said, with my bikes, here's the rundown. 250, I don't ride that a lot on the street because it's got knobbies on it, and I hate to really run knobbies on the road if I don't need to. That bike probably gets the least amount of wear on tires. If I get 3,000 miles out of a set before they're shot, I'm pretty happy. So, plus another factor that I guess that factors in is hard cases for me. I'm a pretty utilitarian rider, so CRF doesn't have side cases. I only have soft bags for it, so it kind of makes it harder sometimes to ride places and do chores and things like that. So that's a CRF. 88 Hawkman, I guess same thing. That and the Hornet, let's say, same thing. Don't have cases, and it's hard to just go shopping or do things on those bikes. I bought those bikes mostly to do a lot of road riding, and I seem to be more into, getting a little bit in the dirt for fun rides. So those bikes really don't fit the niche. I like both those bikes, man. I think about they occupy the same niche, and I think about getting rid of one. So, but I can't ever decide which one I'd kick to the curb. Oh, the 88 also, it's got almost 64,000 miles on it, so I'm not really interested in pushing it around on on long trips. So, okay, VFR, love the VFR, but it's my pretty bike. So I thought about taking that. Got a trip coming up to Montana. Thought about taking that, but I'm like, why should I beat up on my pretty bike? That's probably really my only bike that I really would be upset if I dropped it or anything bad happened to it. Plus, I don't know, that bike is hot as hell in the summer. It seems like that's the bike that throws the most heat. So summer riding's rough. Then I don't like to ride in the rain because it's my pretty bike. So that's that. Let's see what else I got left in the garage. That's 3 bikes. Yep. So, okay. So then that pretty much leaves Norm and young NC. So early morning for some transient folks, just getting to it. So okay, so Norm and young NC, really like both of those bikes. Norm just took him on the trip to Colorado and Utah, and the one thing for Norm I'll say is Norm is big bike. He's pretty tall. Like Norm, if I didn't have the NC, I'd probably be riding that bike the most, Norm. That's for sure. But like I said, Norm's you know, a little tall for me, a little heavier. So I haven't been riding him as much as Young NC, but it'll be interesting in time to see if I ride him as much as, excuse me, it's pretty early, as Young NC. You know, the good thing about Norm is he's pretty much almost as utilitarian as Young NC is. Both have hard cases for. The one nice thing about Young NC, I'm not gonna lie, is the frunk. You know, it's a pain, a little bit of a pain on longer trips that you gotta lift the passenger seat to fuel the bike up. So if you got luggage back there, you gotta take it on and off. But with like quick release straps, like rock straps, it's not the end of the world. But what I like about you know, like I said, Young NC is you got the frunk, man, so you always have like 22 liters of you know, storage. So I guess, you know, for folks who run top boxes, it's probably not as big of a deal. I don't run a top box. Pretty much none of my bikes are set up for top boxes except for Norm. So yeah, I don't know if and Young NC's just easy to ride, man. I mean, you know, for me, the bike has enough power. It's definitely not as powerful as the Africa Twin. It's definitely not as good off-road as the Africa Twin. But yeah, I like to, you know, I don't know, I like Young NC. There's part of me too that likes Young NC because it's kind of a I guess, you know, it's an underdog bike. It's always called like the scooter, you know. From people who don't ride it, I guess they don't get it. And that's something that kind of, no, I'm rambling on, but that's something that kind of aggravates me with people. You know, people, especially on a lot of these boards, who are like, they give you an opinion about a bike and they've never even rode the damn thing. They probably never even sat on it. They're like, I've heard this. Well, like I said, I own the NC700X, as you all know, and yeah, it's you know, it's definitely not a super powerful machine. So if you're looking for that, I'd say, you know, look elsewhere. But I think it's around a 50-ish horsepower bike. It's got plenty of torque. If you know, I don't ride 2-up, and I find it had plenty of power. Has plenty of power to do everything that you know, that I need to do, and probably an average motorcyclist would need to do. If you're looking for a lot of performance, probably not the bike for you. I was just looking around at the bike. A few other factors, I guess, that factor in why I ride Young NC a little bit more. Young NC has, for my road equipped bikes, has Clearwater lights on it, and I think commuting into work, especially in the rain or in the dark, I think it makes me a lot more visible. So I think that's safer. The only other bike right now of my bikes that I have Clearwaters on is the 250L. I got to get set on the Africa Twin, so that's something that factors in. Sorry, so tired. The one other thing, I guess, too, is this bike I have set up for my heated gear, and I was never a heated gear dude until last year, and now I love it. You know, in the winter it's nice to be able to put on my heated vest. So that's pretty. Look at this idiot on their phone. Hey, I'm gonna sit in the fast lane, I'm gonna go slow as hell, and I'm gonna have my phone in my hand and be reading. I mean, what is effing wrong with people, man? Stupid ass cage drivers. So yeah, heated gear. That was the other factor. Ability to plug my heated gear in, and I have an adapter that can plug into, you know, any power port, but it's a lot easier. This bike, I just plug in, and I got the rheostat on it. It's simple. The other bikes, I got to plug in the rheostat and then plug into that, and that's more of a you know, a pain in the ass. Another extra step. So I don't know. Hopefully that answers Oh, and then yeah, one of the other things sometimes is just honestly, I'm just lazy, man. You know, running late in the morning. I got 10 bikes in the garage. You can't just pick one out and ride it all the time. Sometimes without moving at least one other bike. You know, sometimes I got to move 2 or 3 bikes. So there's just certain days that that it's just not easy to move a bike, and usually the NC700X is right by the door because I said I think it's my most utilitarian bike, so I like to have it available. So that's probably another reason. So anyway, super long video, I know, but good thing is also too it helped to keep me awake at 5:15. Being that I probably went to bed at 11:30 and couldn't fall asleep for a while. So, all right, well, that's that. I'm gonna be probably my next ride will be tomorrow, but it'll be probably later in the day because I'll be staying down south in SoCal tonight. So, all right, well, with that, peace out.
That's it. That's why I ride the NC700X more than my other bikes. But no matter what, just ride red.